Tech Table. Tech Table. Tech Table.
Hello and welcome to the Tech Table, the Technical Staff and Theatre Workers podcast. It's the podcast in which I talk to people who work in the technical side of the industry about how they got in, their experiences and any advice they can give to anyone getting in. This is episode 5 of season 6, halfway through this season, and what a season it's been. I really enjoyed talking to everybody in this season so far and really enjoyed listening to them. I hope you've enjoyed listening to them too. Thank you so much for the downloads. Thank you for the follows. If you want to get in touch, it's techtablepod@gmail.com. If you want to get in touch via the socials, it's techtablepod on Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, Threads and YouTube. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone you know who's interested in the industry and anybody who's not interested, because it might make them interested. As a first for the Tech Table, this is a two-parter. So today you'll hear the first part of a two-part, and in a couple of weeks we'll hear the second part. I spoke to this guest for so long that I was able to split it into two parts. So without further ado, let's get on to our next guest. I'm here with my guest at this time. If you'd like to introduce yourself and tell me what your current job title is.
Hi, I'm Jay Duckworth. I am a props designer, and I'm an associate clinical professor of design at Pace University, which is the Sands School of the Performing Arts in downtown New York City.
Fantastic. And so you're a props designer.
Yes.
This is something quite interesting to me, because we have sort of companies in this country that will design props, but a lot of the time, especially on smaller theatrical shows, sort of the stage management will go out and source props and go and find them from shops and things like that. So I mean, I've done that. If
it wasn't for your podcast, I would have never known that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I spoke in Great Britain like twice, like to schools and everything. Had no idea because I talked to prop groups.
Right.
That's wild.
Yeah. So we, especially on the smaller, like I say, the smaller ones that don't have the budgets, some of the bigger props will be, will be made by companies, but a lot of the time the props will just be sourced by stage management and also maintained by stage management as well. So we might have a props company come in and paint the stage and paint parts of the set, but other than that, a lot of the props are maintained by stage management, which I don't believe is the same in America.
No, well, you know what? Props usually are maintained by stage management,
right,
during the run of most every show. It's pretty much the same, because you'll get carpenters who will be stagehands,
yeah,
and they'll cover general things, but I really prefer stage managers to handle props, because one, their lists are incredible.
Yeah.
Two, a carpenter coming from a carpentry background, I'll look at a broken chair and be like, I can't do anything about this. We're going to have to put it in the shop. Whereas a stage manager is like, you know what, put some gaff tape on it and get it out there. It's possible.
Yeah.
They're always looking for that quick solution.
It's very interesting to me about props and prop design, because it's sort of, I don't know, do you work in conjunction with the set designers? Do you just get like a list of things that they require, or are you in sort of at the base level going, well, we're going to need this and then we're going to need that, or do you kind of get it from them?
If you are a props master, you pretty much are you go through the script,
yeah,
and then write out your props, and then send the stuff that you can over. Jesus Christ, so sorry. And the thing is, I tell props people, if you put paper to pencil,
yeah,
you start drawing, you're a props designer. If you're figuring out something that's intellectual property, like the fire for Hamilton, when we were doing Hamilton, we were trying. I and the lighting guy were trying to figure out how to make this fire work, and the stage manager was just like, "Why don't you just burn a letter?" Because we were trying with smoke and we had LEDs, and he was right. So what I had to do is I had to figure out how big and heavy weight pressed this piece of paper was to burn for approximately 2 minutes, 9 seconds.
Oh, right.
And then had to be out because there's a blackout.
Right, I see. Yeah, yeah.
So, and then you also have to make sure that it's not light enough that the paper will come out with an ember on it, like some paper lifts.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out all that stuff. And also the candle that came out that she lit it with, that Philippa Sue lit it with, it requires two candles. I
Yeah.
mean, a candle and two matches taped together on the inside with a striker pad. Because if that goes out on her way out to burn the letters,
Yes.
she just stops.
And of course, so once
You
you've
know,
once you've
so
once you've sourced that and figured out how that works, then you've got to find out how you can mass produce that, because it has to happen every day.
absolutely, and five times on the weekend.
Yes.
So that's what I was talking about. Like, it's good to have stage management. So we create a props designer creates all the files. So
Yeah.
they go in with a file folder with every paper prop that's in there, and then you have about a month's supply. You know, the run supply.
Yeah.
So that they don't have to, because they're specialty papers and they're specialty weights and colors, depending on like who it is and what it is and who paid for it.
Oh, excellent. So let's go back to the beginning. How did you get into all this?
If you want to go really far back, I went to Universal Studios with my folks and I saw the Dracula set.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to create monsters for the rest of my life. And then Alan Cutler was my first mentor in props. And he said to me, if you want to start using your talent instead of just building boxes, come join me. And he taught me like the foundation of props and how to run with it. And I went nuts because I love research and I love history.
Yeah.
And to imbue that into the props of a show and show what kind of history is in each object, that's the passion for me. And so I started at George Street Playhouse and then finally went off Broadway. Our first off Broadway show was at the first theater that started off Broadway, which is Cherry Lane.
Yeah.
And then went down to the Public and was at the Public since 2008 as their head of the props props department.
Right.
And did some really mind-blowing and incredible work down there. You know.
Yeah. I love that theatres over there have dedicated props departments.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's important because if you just think about it, for safety's sake. Like if someone goes out and gets a knife for Sweeney Todd or for anything, and it's not properly ground, and the tip's not rounded.
It's sharp.
Yeah. There was one that had that somebody bought a prop knife in that still had a price tag on it. They never even,
I remember when I was a lowly stage management on one of my first tours of Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, and I had to do a knife. And I remember grinding it down on a brick wall, just to make sure that it wasn't sharp.
Dude, I love that. That is so. and you look insane if somebody walks by.
Yeah,
you're just
outside
like
of theatre.
look.
Yeah, absolutely. Outside of theatre, and you're just grinding a knife down on a wall.
It wasn't like near Whitechapel, was it? Because that would be.
No. Luckily, it wasn't. So, what was your first? Let's say your first show, and then your first big show that you did the props for, or just worked on the props.
The first show, I had a prop master quit, and I stepped up for them, and that was a musical called Spitfire Grill. And then the next musical I did was translation of a Argentinian show called Venezia. And it was translated by Arthur Lawrence, the guy who wrote Gypsy and started Sondheim's career, West Side Story, all that stuff.
Wow.
And the star of the show was Chita Rivera.
No.
And this was the first time that they got together since their argument over the film of West Side when Rita Moreno took over her part.
That's brilliant.
It was wild, and that happened again later on with Terrence McNally and Nathan Lane.
Yeah,
they had a falling out because of Birdcage. Okay, so I'm sorry,
It's all
but
right.
that was like my first show, and then that was like my first prop thing, and then later on, I think the biggest thing, the Hamilton's huge,
Yeah, yeah, of
but
course, has to.
there's like other ones. I mean, there's other ones that I really really loved. Like there was a Twelfth Night. It was in the park that
Yeah.
was just stacked with talent, you know. And that was great with Anne Hathaway
Oh, right.
and Audra McDonald and, and Hamish Linklater, all kinds of really, really. But so there has been a lot of really, really great shows that I've loved working on because of the director or the cast,
Yeah. So, I suppose with your love of history and research, things like Hamilton, which are historical pieces, or even Twelfth Night, it is really up your street, really, up your alley, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Street is fine.
Sorry.
In my wheelhouse. That's
Yes.
good as well.
Yeah, wheelhouse. I like that one. I'll try that one.
Right? We got everything.
How very British of me.
Well, I'm second generation.
Oh, brilliant.
From Dundee.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, from Scottish from Dundee. Yeah. Grandpa always said Dundee's a good place to be from. So.
Do you know what? I know people from Dundee, and they still say the same thing.
Oh. Nice. Yeah, I think. And then this summer, past 3 summers, I've been working at the Colorado Shakespeare Festival. I really love Shakespeare because you can put it at any layer of our history.
Yeah.
Like when I worked with John Lithgow, we did it in period, at Shakespeare in the Park for King Lear.
Yeah.
So it was just barely ADE, after the Common Era, ACE. Yeah. So. But so yeah, I love it because the technology that you have has to be inserted like that. Like there's 3 circles of consciousness.
Yeah.
You got the actor and their world, so it's everything that's around them, and then the world of the play where anything can happen, and then the last world, which is the world outside,
the audience,
the history that we have to lay onto it.
Oh, yes, of course.
And having those things really, if you can find something that touches an audience member just by seeing it, that is part of the zeitgeist of that time, you emotionally bring them into a story without them even knowing it.
Yes.
They become part of it,
Wow, I've never.
But you know that from sound.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But ours is different because obviously ours is audio. So, and I mean, I don't know from my experience, audio sparks memory a lot more than most other senses. You can.
Oh yeah.
You always remember where you were when you heard a certain thing. So by that point, it's almost a lot easier to get the audience involved with us because audio is such a memory-inducing thing. Whereas to see something props-wise, sometimes you'll just glance over and go, oh, well, look at that! Wow, I can't believe that, and that's what drags you in. So it's having the foresight to go, we need that here. We need to put that piece here. It'll draw the audience in, which it's fascinating. A huge thank you to Jay. Really enjoyed talking to Jay there. What a character he is, and what a brilliant conversation that we've had so far. And I'm looking forward to the second part, as I hope you are too. If you want to follow Jay, he is Proptologist on both TikTok and Instagram. He puts up some fantastic videos, so really, really worth a follow. And it was his birthday the other day, so he said for his birthday present he'd like you all to subscribe to him. So happy birthday to Jay, and thank you for joining us. If you want to get in touch with us, it is techtablepod@gmail.com. If you want to get in touch via the socials, they are Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, Threads, and YouTube are all Tech Table Pod. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone you know who's interested in the technical side of the industry, and anyone who's not interested
because it might make them interested. Thank you to Megan G from the GSA and Jade from South Wales East, Flynn from Q-Light, and of course Nathan. The Tech Table team is working diligently and very hard to help us bring this each week, and I'm really happy to be working them, and so thank you to them. And thank you to you for listening. It's been really great downloads, really great numbers, and a great season so far. In the next couple of weeks, or next week in fact, I think we will be having a special episode, so we'll be putting up a social media post for you to put some questions in, and we're going to have a question and answer session next week for a very special reason. So until then, I shall see you all next week.